Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to today's evening session of Being Heartful Every Day. Today is the day 347, and we are gently moving through week 50, just few days away from the sacred Bhandara, celebrating the 125th birth anniversary of Pujya Shri Babuji Maharaj. As this special gathering approaches, it's not time we are counting, but the death of our inner readiness. This nearness is measured in the remembrance, in silence, in the still spaces of the heart, where the beloved Master quietly enters. Let us not only attend the Bhandara, but let us arrive inwardly as well, with lot of love, humility, and deep openness. In Sahaj-Marg, the preparation is not only about doing more, it is about being more present. Therefore, let us use these next few days to deepen our abhyas and to take it with more sincerity and seriously. And as always, this journey is not only about us. Let us continue to share heartfulness, whether through master classes or being heartful everyday sessions with those who are in our circle of influence. And now we will return to the special message from Daji's special features of Sahaj-Marg, and we will rather now start the reading. Okay. Babuji describes Lalaji, this special personality who was a prodigy of nature, the ultimate reality, brought back to humanity the long forgotten art of transmission of Upanishadic, this is Upanishad Pranasya Pranaha, worked out a novel method of spiritual training which completely relieved the practitioner of almost all responsibilities. With him dawned the new era of yogic training through transmission, of which he was the master. He could bring a man to perfection simply at a glance. It was he who made it possible that a man could attain perfection in one life, rather a part of it, leading just a normal family life. He simplified the method of spiritual training to a great extent and adjusted it to suit the requirements of the time. The methodology of yogic transmission brings about a shift in consciousness. So far, there have been extraordinary results. The effect of transmission is being studied in a systematic way through research on the physiological and psychological effects of transmission. Of course, what we are trying to measure is beyond instrumentation and senses. How can one measure the subtleness of God? We learn from Lalaji in Babuji's diary entry of October 28, 1944, that both Lalaji and Babuji were born with this pure transmission from the center without the least touch of Maya, source of grace. Seekers have asked about the source of grace. Here are some Babuji's replies. Tell me now, the air that you are breathing, where is it contained? I do not think you can reply. The question you have raised will only be answered if the entire philosophy of Sahaj-Marg is described. It is difficult to answer the question you have asked about grace. The word Bhandar meaning storehouse, or 16 of 36 repository, is so vast in itself. When we use this word, the whole thing, that is, the center, including the invisible motion surrounding it, comes to view. That is why it is very difficult to judge from which point the grace comes. Nobody has paid much attention to one thing, that every particle or atom has present in it all the centers there in the circle. Hence, the same grace can come from an atom that also comes from the real source or bhandar, a person. I will repeat this line. Nobody has paid much attention to one thing, that every particle or atom has present in it all the centers there is the circle. Hence, the same grace can come from an atom that also comes from the real source or bhandar, a person, whose condition and connection have become so fine or focused that he sees reality in everything, can derive grace even from an atom. Grace is even finer than ether. So, a seeker whose approach is beyond ether receives their part according to their approach. Role of the master. The above passages indirectly hint at the vital point that the living master is the conduit for divine grace. The importance of the living master's role in our evolution is also highlighted in Lalaji's intercommunication with Babuji on August 15, 1944. After Lalaji's Mahasamadhi in 1931, his subtle body departed with him. Hence, he could no longer attend to the subtle bodies of his disciples. Once Babuji assumed the role of Lalaji's representative in 1944, he recommenced the work of attending to them. As a result of the 13-year gap, the associates had developed curvature, meaning that they became diverted from the ultimate goal of life. This tends to occur when no living master is present to guide a disciple. Babuji does note a few years later in his correspondence that the connection may be kept alive after the passing of the master if the seeker develops adequate receptive capacity. We see here that two things are important for spiritual growth: the grace that is set 18 of 36 in motion by the master for a seeker, and the seeker developing adequate receptive capacity. We will rest the reading here and let the feeling behind the words quietly expand in our hearts. These are not just the words to be read, but a sense to be absorbed. Let the words dissolve, let the presence grow. And now we will prepare ourselves for the universal prayer. You may gently close your eyes, taking your attention towards your heart. And let us offer the universal prayer together. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं, और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. May this universal prayer send the ripples of love, unity, and brotherhood across the world. And as we prepare for the sleep tonight, let us remember to offer your bedtime prayer before that and take a few quiet moments to reflect on the day. Let your heart speak, let your prayer connect, and let your reflections deepen your inner journey. And let your sleep become a continuation of the meditation. We look forward to seeing you all tomorrow again for our 6 a.m. session as we continue this beautiful journey together, one step closer to the Bhandara preparation. And wishing you all a very good night. And may your heart rest in the gentle presence of the beloved Master. Thank you all.